What is up, everybody? Francis here. This is going to be the start of a brand new series for the YouTube channel, and it's a little bit of a take on DM Diaries, but instead of focusing on a particular session, I'm focusing on me as a dungeon master. And the goal of this is I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to show you my thoughts going into the session. We'll talk about the sessions, of course, but we're also going to talk about my thought processes behind it. I'm going to show you the tools and tricks that I have used in D&D, and I'm hoping that you will learn from my mistakes. And I think documenting the process is going to be super fun, super motivating. I'm hoping that in 10 years I'll look back on this and I'm just going to smile because of how much progress I have made. So for context, a lot of the things I'm going to reference is talking about my weekly D&D live stream, and if you want to check that out, I have a whole playlist over there of all of my past sessions. You don't need to watch all of them, they're like 3 hours a piece. I'm going to reference a lot of things that are happening in those sessions. So currently we are on session 24, and I am in a bit of a rough spot in terms of the campaign. You see, we haven't been playing for a few weeks. We came back during a time when the players were in downtime. Weeks ago, outside of the game, I approached my players and I said, guys, after the current arc, which was the Original Crisis arc, I want them to decide as a group what do they want to do for their next adventure. It felt like the last arc was super forced. Like it was meant to be an adventure, but it felt like it was just the players getting from A to B, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to make the journey spicy in some way, shape, or form. And it was, honestly, I thought it was a great idea because everybody needs somewhere to start. And I think that having that first adventure, letting everybody meet new NPCs, meet people that they might want to come back to, once they get their bearings, then they can decide what they want to do. And we've reached that point in our campaign. Now, the problem I have right now from last session was that the players have decided they want to go back in time, which can cause a lot of problems. Frankly, that's where I'm at. I still need to write the new adventure. I still need to write the whole trek from Sameza, which is where they're being transported to, teleported to, and then into Kaldesh. I wrote a few outlines of the city, of the cities, and some encounters that I think that would be great. So right now I am working on encounters for the next adventure. For the longest time I have been using Kobold Fight Club, which is this encounter builder, this tool that lets me generate encounters easily, finding what's based on the official guide. But this time, it turns out that Kobold Fight Club is down, or they changed management, if I believe so. So I am actually using DnDbeyond's beta encounter builder, and here's pretty much what I've learned so far. So, as you can see here, it's kind of the same. So I didn't name my encounter. I'm just gonna call this Desert, and then I can manage my characters, and I can actually take the Wayfarers from the previous campaign, or from the current campaign that I have set in D&D Beyond, and I hit all the previous character sheets, and now I am just looking for monsters. So I think we're gonna do neutral, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil. I'm still deciding whether I want a group encounter, or do I want something a little bit more one and done. So I wish we can remove some of these sources because I don't want to have everything. I think the purple worm might be a good idea here, because see if I add this one. So for the encounter summaries, I'm just, even though it says hard, it's not actually hard because this doesn't factor in, you know, enchanted items. So I'm kind of leaning it towards a little bit lesser than this. Probably this purple worm would be considered a medium encounter instead of a hard. This might actually work considering how, you know, it's just a random encounter. But I do also have to consider that I'm dealing with a group of people. I'm dealing with a fighter, sorcerer, a lot of AoE stuff. The purple worm will probably die by itself in like 2 or 3 rounds. So to me, that's not really fun. I can either modify the purple worm or I can come up with something else, but I can't really come up with anything right now for the purple worm, so I'm just not going to deal with it. But if I remember correctly, the Orthon is like a bounty hunter, and I think the Orthon would be good, a good encounter here, especially since one of my players is seemingly hunted.